As the world descends upon the UAE for the year's most important climate conference, one of the world's leading tech payment companies is prioritizing sustainability as it explores how the private sector can unlock opportunities for climate action at COP28. To tell us more, I'm delighted to be joined by Ellen Jackowski, Chief Sustainability Officer at Mastercard. Ellen, it's great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, COP28 is here, and so talk to us about how you found it. What were your goals, what were your priorities and your experience?
Sure, well, Mastercard's here in Dubai at COP28 to be a voice for business action, helping to influence the negotiators. So we've seen some very strong agreements already, but for us to be a voice, continuing to influence that action is essential. We also had our own agenda for what we were hoping for Mastercard. We have three very important topics to us. One is driving sustainable consumption across our value chain. The second is inclusive climate action. And the third is nature-based solutions. So we've come with some very aggressive programming around each of those three areas.
You know, let's start with one of those right now. You know, it's interesting when we talk about climate change, everybody has a role. So to that, what is the role of the private sector in climate action, and what is Mastercard's role in that domain?
Well, the private sector has a lot of responsibility to embody what climate action looks like and help the world kind of adjust and transform towards a sustainable economy. Mastercard is a payments technology that sits kind of at the core of our economy. We have 90 million merchants on our network, over 20,000 banking partners, and well over 3 billion cardholders. So when you think about the fact that there are about 8 billion people on planet Earth, and we have insight into the patterns and the consumption of almost half global society, we have a very strong responsibility as well as a big business opportunity here.
Sustainable consumption. This is something that you just mentioned. It's something that we're hearing more and more about. How can that actually make a difference?
Well, so, our strategy around sustainable consumption has three pillars: inspire, inform, and enable. And so what we're hoping to do as Mastercard is work with our merchants and our banking partners of how do we inspire cardholders and consumers to think about buying differently, about buying more sustainably. The second pillar, inform. We have our first product, the Mastercard Carbon Calculator, and that provides information to cardholders at the end of their purchase. So end of the month, you get your bill, what have you bought and the total financial impact, but what have you bought and the estimated carbon impact. So it's our first iteration of this product, really helping to inform cardholders to make more sustainable decisions. And then the third pillar is engage, and that's really about driving climate action. So for example, we have our Priceless Planet Coalition that has the aim of restoring 100 million trees. And we've pulled together this full coalition with lots of different business partners across our value chain to help us in restoration. But then, for example, if you're using the carbon calculator and you see what your impact is on carbon at the end of the month, you could also have the opportunity to donate to the Priceless Planet Coalition and restore trees.
This is really interesting, something that you've just mentioned right there, forest restoration. This is not something that you kind of link with a company like Mastercard, but here you are involved in projects like this. Why do you think that that is actually important? And how are you working to actually scale up initiatives like this with the partners that you're working with?
So we know nature can be 30% of the climate solution to stop climate change. And we're working with partners like Conservation International and World Resources Institute, the highest integrity partners in this space, to help design and implement our goal of 100 million trees restored. So in fact, while we were here at COP28, just the other day, we took a very small group of very important chief sustainability officers and business leaders about an hour north of Dubai to one of our 20 restoration sites across the world. Just happens that it's an hour north of Dubai. We went kayaking through the mangroves. We planted mangroves all together and had the top scientists in the world, for example, Johan Rockström, joined us to help underscore how important the climate science is, restoration is to the solution to stop climate change.
That's really incredible to see that Mastercard is involved in all of that. What are you seeing as the future for sustainability, particularly in the tech and payment space?
Well, I think for us, we have a net zero goal. to be net zero by 2040, a decade ahead of climate science. And that's great. We will certainly do that. We've already proven in our latest ESG report that we've reduced our footprint by 41% so far. More work to do, but our footprint's relatively small. So the big opportunity for us is what we were discussing around sustainable consumption. How do we enable our merchants all the way through the cardholders to transform their purchasing habits, and how do we do it in an inclusive way?
Ellen Jackowski, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us. Thank you.
Thanks so much.